So hello, lovely to see you all, and thank you for joining us on this video podcast for carers. So maybe if we start off with some introductions so that everybody knows who we are. So I'm Shian, Neale, and I manage our recovery and resilience services for Clr Morgannwg Mind. Welcome Chris Davis, who's a local councillor and a cabinet member for social services in Merthyr Tydfil. And welcome to Jack Bennett, who works for the CAB as the Carers Advisor, and our very own Pamela, who's the Carer Star Coordinator. So welcome all, and today we're going to talk a little bit around the Carers Needs Assessment, Carers Allowance, and then the role of the CAB in helping carers with benefits advice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great.
You are lovely, thank you. So maybe if we kick off by talking a little bit about the Carers Needs Assessment. Chris, maybe you're best place to tell us a little bit about what is the Carers Needs Assessment.
Yeah, good morning, Borda. Shian, thank you for inviting me to join you. I'm delighted, half of the council, to come and talk to you about, obviously, support to carers. And yeah, it kind of does start with us at the council, really, in terms of our statutory duty and the right entitlement the carers have got to an assessment. And I think the important thing to say here is a right to assessment in their own way, to look at their own support needs as well.
Yes.
Obviously, the duty and responsibility to the council for providing support to carers and carers assessments for carers sits under the Social Services and Wellbeing Act 2014. That's the key piece of legislation that we've got. And carers assessments are available to anyone undertaking a caring role, and specifically, obviously, to adults who care for maybe a friend, a family member, or a loved one. Also, parents and carers of children with disabilities, and also young carers. I think it's really important to kind of say that. I know that you guys do a lot of support with adults, but obviously, children, young carers, and parents and carers of children with disabilities are equally entitled to an assessment of their own needs in their own right.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say a little bit about how you can access an assessment, because I think that's important for people to know. So obviously, if a friend, a family member, or a loved one has a social worker, or has anybody in social services involved, I think they're a really good starting point to have a chat with them, because they can set up and arrange that carer's assessment for you.
Yeah,
obviously, if social services for some reason perhaps isn't involved, and that could be for a number of people that you guys are supporting, all they need to do really is find out from you guys about their rights, and obviously then they can, or you can, ring in with their consent to the council on 01685 725 000 and explain to one of our staff that they'd like to find out a little bit more about carers assessments, and then they can pop them through to either in children's or adult services to the right person who might be able to help.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know. And Pam, I know that you quite often do that, don't you? You do sort of refer people into social services for a carers assessment.
Yes, that's right, Shian. Very often we speak to the carer. We do our own assessment, as you know, through the Carer Star tool. And that flags up normally if someone is suffering sort of financial hardship. And we discuss that, and we discuss the needs in general, round the star.
Yes.
And from that, then I usually recommend, if I think a carer's assessment is needed, discuss it together, get their permission first before I contact anyone. I contact social services, have that discussion, and we go from there. Usually someone will contact the carer and arrange a time convenient to them, either by phone or by visiting, and usually get provisions in then that's required.
That's
great. Go from there, really.
So, and what kinds of things are covered in the assessment, Chris or Pam? So just so that people know what kinds of things are discussed in the assessment. What kinds of areas do they look at?
Usually, you know, well, a lot of the time it's things that they require at home, maybe adaptions, extra help, you know, around their caring role, financial help, you know, and things like that. I don't know if you need to add anything to that, Chris.
No, I think for me, Shian and Pam, the important thing is what matters. It's that really important starting point for us. And it's a slightly different way of us working since the introduction of the Social Services and Wellbeing Act. But that's where we like to start. You know, what's important to people. Because this is an assessment of someone, not of the person maybe that they're caring for, but actually this is an assessment of them, of their needs, of what they would like and what, you know, the areas in their life that they need support. So that's starting point of what's important to them, what matters to them, so we can secure with them what we call personal well-being outcomes for that person, as well as obviously providing the ultimate support to the person they're caring for. This is a focus of an assessment on them.
Yeah, and it's about enabling them to continue within their caring role, isn't it? So giving them the support that they need so that they can continue with their caring role if that's what they want to do.
That's right, it's having that what matters conversation with them. Or, you know, basically person-centered, isn't it, you know, very much.
Yeah.
So, you know, it might not be adaptions, it might not be financial, it might be something around something that they want to do or need to do during the daytime, you know. I've had carers got to leave their house 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, to get out to do their work, to get back to see to the needs of the cared for, you know. So there's lots of issues that are flagged up with that what's matter conversation, really. So yeah, there's lots of things get identified through an assessment, really.
Yeah, okay. And I know another area that you work on in terms of supporting the carers that you work with, Pam, is around finances. And I know that the Carers Wales survey last year, 2019, identified that 45% of carers struggle to make ends meet. And of course, as we know, one of the key benefits that carers are eligible for is the Carers Allowance.
That's right.
So how do you go about helping carers to access that, Pam?
We have the conversation again, starting with an assessment that we carry out, and very often, as Jack will tell you, you know, what's flagged up is financial hardship. They haven't any idea sometimes what entitlements they are due or entitled to, any benefits. Jack is, you know, very expertise in this and helps us an awful lot, I must say, with the Carer Star project. I'm always emailing Jack, aren't I, Jack, or phoning you. Can you know, make an appointment for this carer who is struggling, you know, just to find out if they're entitled to anything, really. So I send, you know, most of the carers that is suffering sort of from financial hardship to Jack, and then he does his magic. So
what is the magic that you do, Jack? How do you go about helping the carers who need help around their finances?
Yeah, so like Pam said, we work quite closely together. Pam, I think, is over our office more than she is in your own. But,
that's what I am, see, Shian. I told you I'm not skiving off.
We'll take we take lots of referrals off Pam, but we'll take every carer as an individual as they come to us and assess their needs individually, because no carer is the same. Some may completely have given up working to take on the caring role. Some may be fitting in part-time work or even fitting the caring role with full-time work. But it's important to assess the needs of each carer as they come to us. Yeah. So we will complete the full benefit check to see if there's any entitlements at present, so with their current situation. But not only that, we'll be able to discuss with carers different situations. So maybe if they were to reduce their hours and work more, could there be other support out there for them? If they worked more, would that have an impact on their benefit? And there's not only carers allowance, there is top-up benefits with carers elements. But there's also other benefits which maybe carers have not really thought about themselves. And recently, me and Pam, we assisted someone who had quite serious health conditions, and we supported her with a claim for PIP, and she was successful. So there isn't just carers allowance. We look at the carer as a whole and assess them on their need like that.
Which is great to know, isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah. Fantastic, really, isn't it? You know, because unless, you know, that they know about our services, they just sort of oblivious to it, really, aren't they, you know?
Yeah.
So can carers come directly to you, Jack, if they needed some advice around their finances?
Yeah, carers, they can either contact our office directly. I've got a works number, my direct mobile number, which I can just say. So carers could contact me directly using my mobile, which is 079 50 94 6605, and then they get direct through to me. Agencies or professionals can refer into me, just like Pam. So yeah, there's a range of accessibility routes.
Yeah, so the important thing, I guess, is that we're raising awareness and providing that information to carers so that they know where they can go for that help, isn't it? Whether it's social services to access the carers assessment, or the CAB and access more advice and information around finances, as well as other advice and support that you provide too, isn't it, Jack?
Definitely, yeah. And a lot of the time then, once carers are referred in, they usually, once comfortable or they trust us a bit more, there's usually more issues with the carer. So we are able to provide then the debt advice, housing advice, and then we can refer on then to, if Pam already haven't, for example, pass on or refer on to other specialist organisations for further support.
And what's coming through for me is, as we're sort of talking about this here now, is how well we work together, isn't it? The three key areas in partnership, and it's about signposting people to the right support that they need, isn't it?
Oh, that's absolutely true. Yeah, it's absolutely true, Shian. We work with lots of organisations, you know, Cllr being one of them, you know. Fantastic sort of help. Carers have sung your praises, Jack, and other people that's working there as well. You know, they actually made life-changing things happen for them, you know, because they've struggled and now they've suddenly got this money to do things that they need to do, just for essentials and other things as well, you know. So it is life-changing, actually.
And Shian, I wanted to say really on behalf of the council and the residents of the county borough, thank you really to you guys. You know, to Citizens Advice Merthyr Tydfil. Jack, you know, in terms of your cab for carers role is fantastic. You know, I don't know where carers would be without you. And Shian, I just wanted to say it's exciting times really for us at the council, because I've been really keen that we look at support for carers as a real focus for our work with our senior management team and officers. And we are finally appointed to the carers officer post. And Rachel Gray have started in that new role this week. So she will be in touch. She's really keen to come and meet you guys, all the organisations supporting carers, to meet carers themselves, find out their ideas. You know, particularly now during COVID, it's been a challenging time for everybody to find out what kind of support carers need and really just look at how we can move things forward. And I wanted to give you, you know, my commitment and Councillor David Hughes, who's the carers champion, who some of you will know, is very passionate, like I am, about this area of our work. And it is going to be a real focus for us over the next couple of months, supporting carers, because they really are unsung heroes. You know, the work they do to support families, friends and loved ones is amazing. So you guys are all here, but I want to give the council's commitment that we are here to support you, but more importantly to support carers moving forward as well.
That's great to know. Thank you, Chris. And I'm sure that's very much appreciated, isn't it? You know, and moving forward, we'd welcome the carer support officer, where, you know, she would like to join us in a future video podcast, and we can talk a little bit more about how we can work together and provide that support to carers, isn't it?
I'm sure she'd love that, so I'll make contact and she can come and join you, definitely.
There you are, that's lovely.
She is going to meet Shian. She contacted me just recently, and I think it's the 13th. So I look forward to meeting her then, and we can sort of discuss ways in which we can work together closely, you know.
There you are, that's great. So thank you all very much. I think that's a good place to finish off with today, isn't it? But we've got a couple of openers in terms of where we'll take the next video podcast. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.